What's this all about?
So I just did a video. You guys, please open it in another tab. It's in the description.
Yeah, we'll show you a little preview of that in a second.
We will. But what it's about,
yes,
and it's something I didn't cover in my video on purpose because I really wanted to save it for the show, was Hong Kong passed a new security law called Article
Beijing
23.
forced Hong Kong to pass this thing.
It's passed unanimously.
Yes.
And what this is it basically, without giving it all away, makes it so if you post anything or say anything bad about the Chinese government
on social media,
or you interface with a dissident, or you even share a document that is not classified but they think might be classified or looks classified, then now you could go to jail for the rest of your life.
Yes.
It's horrible, right? And the thing is, this is extraterritorial, this law. So no matter where you are, you could be wanted by, like, we're wanted by the Hong Kong government.
Absolutely. If we try to transit through Hong Kong, we could get nabbed.
And now if you have any sort of history or influence over people in terms of like criticizing the Chinese government or even just promoting democracy in China or democratic principles in Hong Kong, you could be wanted. So if you're transiting, they take your biometric data now in the Hong Kong airport. If you're transiting, they can nab you and throw you in jail. In fact, since 2020, when the first national security law came out, which has a lot of similar principles. Yeah. Over 200 people have been arrested for such things. Yeah. Just some people just ran.
Well, I mean, here's the funny part.
But this is the funny part.
Yeah, is that Chinese state TV reported that the law had passed before it had passed.
Yes.
Which just shows you that it's all a setup. It's all bullshit.
It's so funny that they're like, yes, unanimous, like it's passed.
There was no voting involved.
It didn't finish.
Yeah.
It was like 83 votes to 0, by the way.
Positive, yeah, it's just one of those things. They already knew the outcome because they had already dictated the outcome, right?
They did.
Okay, so now we're not going to spend too much time on this, and the reason is that you did a video about it.
I did. I'll just play the intro.
So you can see.
It's called, this is the thumbnail you look out for. It's called Important Warning. Warning! Don't go to Hong Kong.
Yeah. So here's a little intro for you guys.
If you have posted anything remotely against the Chinese government online, then I would highly recommend that you do not go to Hong Kong.
Now, Hong Kong's legislature has passed a tough new security law.
It is deeply troubling to see the passage of Article 23 in Hong Kong.
What is called Article 23 of its basic law.
Hong Kong lawmakers approved a controversial new national security law.
City's pro-China lawmakers passed the latest national security law unanimously. It introduces dozens of new crimes and threatens up to life imprisonment.
And even if you were planning on going to Hong Kong, I'm even talking about connecting flights to go somewhere else. Let's say you're flying from London to South Korea or Thailand or whatever, and you have a connecting flight in Hong Kong, there is now an excellent chance that you will go to jail, possibly for life.
Okay,
go check it out. Please open that in a new tab. I think YouTube might be not on purpose, like burying it, but it's one of those things that I think is probably getting mass downvoted by Wumao because they really don't want that getting out there.
There's this new show. It's based on a very famous Chinese science fiction novel that was written in 2008. Yeah, it's got very high reviews. I haven't read it, so I can't really talk about it. It's the same guy who wrote The Wandering Earth.
Right, which is also good in literary form.
I saw the movie and it was appalling.
He didn't make the movie.
I watched it in China in the cinema and I wish I hadn't. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm not even making that.
No, it's bad, but
it's
the
so
book
bad.
Doesn't mean the book is bad.
No, sure. Like the source material is probably good. The movie was atrocious.
Right.
Made me want to just die of cringe.
Right.
You know?
What's your source that it was bad, though?
The fact that my own lying eyes.
My source is that I made it the up.
No,
anyway,
the movie's bad.
The movie is, anyone has seen it. The thing is, if you understand China and then you watch the movie, it makes it even worse.
Yes.
Anyway,
this is supposed to be good.
This is different. This is different. Three Body Problem is very well known. It's well known around the world as being a very good sci-fi. I don't even know what the story is, so I can't really comment. What I can comment about is the fact...
I'll watch this.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm going to check it out.
It's going to be great. I know it's going to be good.
One thing that I can say about it is that in China, they hate it.
Why?
Well, first of all, the promotional posters of the Three Body Problem had like a diverse cast.
Okay.
All right?
Oh, yeah, they hate diversity in
So
China.
not only Chinese actors. And because it's a Chinese novel, they were pissed off.
Right.
So a lot of Chinese netizens are review bombing it online, like giving it a 1 star without even watching it, of course, just because they're like, it's a nationalist pride thing. But the thing about the 3-body problem that's really gotten people talking, because it was just released yesterday or whatever, right? Is, and we don't want to copyright, but we'll show some screenshots of it. They have a scene that shows a struggle session during the Cultural Revolution.
Right.
Okay?
Which China doesn't like to highlight.
They don't like anybody talking about, they downplay it, they sweep it under the rug, right? And it's very realistic. And the reason why it's very realistic, this was filmed in London, by the way, on a sound set.
Oh, that's great.
But the reason why it's very realistic is the producer, actually interviewed people that escaped the Cultural Revolution.
That's cool. I'm definitely going to watch it now.
People that actually were there and experienced it and fled and swam to Hong Kong or did whatever they had to do to get out of there. So the depictions of what happened here are incredibly realistic. And so it's pissing off a lot of people in China because the government doesn't like this. They don't like people to be reminded that it was actually the Communist Party of China, the one that's currently in power.
Government.
The current government is the people that were responsible for this horrible, atrocious thing that happened in China.
Liu Cixin is the author.
Yeah, anyway, the scene that depicts the struggle session here during the Cultural Revolution is quite brutal. It's quite bloody, and it's very accurate.
Yes.
Incredibly accurate, especially if you've seen old stock footage and pictures.
I'm familiar with the event, right? Just not this show.
So
I'll definitely check it out.
This particular scene is now being shared around a lot.
Yes.
And it's really, like I said, it's really pissing off anyone who's in the Chinese government or any Chinese propagandist. But anyone who was there is really like saying, yes, that's accurate. That's what it was.
I do want to shout out the fact this is not a sponsorship. Some people are like, how much does Netflix pay? No, this is just about China. That's why we brought it up.
Absolutely.
This is not a sponsorship whatsoever.
So anyway, just saying that especially amongst the China dissident scene, we're seeing this being passed around a lot. And people are like, wow, they can't believe that they accurately depicted it.
That's good.
Because,
to them.
Usually in Hollywood or, in any kind of media thing, they downplay this stuff because they don't want to anger China.
Yeah.
And they completely just whitewash it or don't show it.
That seems to be changing.
Yeah. So I would suggest at least just watch it for the scene, Anyway, we're not going to show you the scene because, we'd get a copyright strike or something.
I love the continued slip. Human death spiral. Oh no, it's true.
You got to be pretty drunk for this to happen, by the way. Yes. Trying to zoom in.
He's trying to chug it, but it just went full on. He's like, wake up. He falls back to sleep. Then he wakes up. Then he falls back to sleep. Then he wakes up.
He just ate a tissue.
When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs.